Hey, what's up, YouTube? It's Richie from Boston. It's the 23rd of May in the year 2020, and it's freezing out. It's absolutely overcast, cold, and freezing out. It's almost the first weekend of the summertime, I guess. I don't know. Doesn't matter because the beaches are closed down still, and everybody's walking around with their stupid little masks on, etc. This is going to be a strange video because I'm going to show you some new stuff, I'm going to show you some old stuff, and I'm going to show you some stuff that was banned. But let me tell you something. While we have the time, while Operation Warp Speed is working on getting a vaccine jammed into the veins of you and all the people that you love, order. Because I'm going to show you right now why everything that's occurring is going to be used to control you, including food. Period. I found this video on an enormous YouTube channel that I didn't even know existed whatsoever at all. And for some reason, it doesn't seem to be getting censored, which I find strange, but whatever. Watch this video and understand. It amazes me how people in the comments on Twitter and, other social media things, oh, really? You really think all the countries in the world got together to shut down, to force some sort of conspiratorial agenda on people? Do I think it? I don't have to think it. It's our reality. It amazes me that people don't understand that political theater, Donald Trump, Joe Biden, Obama, all these people, these are all spokespeople for a corporation. Your country, the United States of America, is and has been a corporation for a really long time, since the 1800s. You might want to look into that. You probably won't, but it doesn't make any difference. But check this video out. I didn't make it, but it explains everything pretty much perfectly, and I found it strange that YouTube not only suggested it to me, but this channel has almost 2 million subscribers, and this video has almost 500,000 views. When you're telling anything they don't want people to hear, it gets taken away. How do I know that? Oh, geez, I don't know. Let's take a look. This is my YouTube channel, behind the scene. You noticing anything strange? Anything weird about my videos? Yeah. That's weird, right? Peculiar, odd, unusual, not normal, but it's par for the course. If you're telling any type of truth and you're proving it, you're gone. So I find it strange that this video is up, but I also understand that the elites don't mind. It's called the externalization of the hierarchy. They want you to know what's happening, and they realize that most people won't look into it for themselves because most people are grass-chomping, cell phone-carrying, television-watching consumer sheep. And it works, and we've seen the effects of it. The countries of the world basically shut themselves down from a scary story. Period. At any rate, you want to know what COVID and all this is all about? This basically sums it up pretty nicely.
This is a plan that was agreed to by 179 nations. It's called the Agenda for the 21st Century. It's a totalitarian state being developed right now all over the world. It is the inventory and control plan. Inventory and control of all land, all water, all minerals, all plants, all animals, all construction, all means of production, all food, all energy, all information, and all human beings in the world. And this is a plan that was agreed to by 179 nations back in 1992. It's a United Nations plan. It's called the Agenda for the 21st Century. And so many of us around the world think that, sustainable development, it just sounds so great. Isn't it about recycling and creative reuse and creating energy and food resources for everyone? And the answer is no, it really is not. It's about moving populations into city centers, concentrated city centers, and clearing them out of the rural areas. All systems have to be brought into harmony in order to control them all. Because when systems don't meet, when they're out of balance or not in sync with one another, they can't be controlled centrally. And the goal of Agenda 21 is one world government and total control from a central unit. Every nation that signed on to Agenda 21 has its local Agenda 21 plan. People in the United States are completely unaware of this. If I go out and talk about this, the United States press will attacks me and calls me, which is totally ridiculous. It is a, but it's not a theory. It's a fact. The three pillars of United Nations Agenda 21 are economy, ecology, and equity, the three E's. And everyone sort of thinks that they know what that means, the idea of social equity. It must mean that, well, everyone's going to have access to clean water and clean air, and no one's property is going to be used as a dumping ground because they are at a poverty level. But really what social equity is about impoverishing huge portions of the population and bringing down the developed nations. Everything that we're looking at now is destined to collapse our economies. It's a totalitarian state being developed right now all over the world. And what major corporations want in this development is to be able to have full movement of workers without borders or boundaries, to be able to move their goods through without regulations, and to reduce wages. And so this is the goal. So this is what you find with social equity. And of course, economy and ecology is about, these are the three circles: economy, ecology, and social equity. And where they meet in the center is balance. But really that balance is a communitarian balance. So it's not balance of well-being of the people. What it is it's a balance for corporations so that they can exploit and control and have populations in an area, in tightly packed, dense areas, so that they can be surveilled and managed. And this is what that balance looks like as far as the development of a totalitarian state is. The mainstream media is owned by 5 major corporations, and you're not going to get this information from the mainstream press. So you need to be your own press. You need to educate yourself. You need to get out there and educate your neighbors, your community, your real community. You need to help your children understand that they're being indoctrinated from pre-kindergarten to postgraduate school. All of us have a responsibility to ourselves and to others. This is true community, to work for personal freedom. And always remember that even though we work as a group, if we do work as a group, we're all individuals in those groups, and we answer only to ourselves. And this is essential. It's essential as free human beings. This is what we are. We are free, and we need to continue to be free. And I do believe that we will win, but we have to become aware that there is a fight, and then make our friends and our neighbors and our community aware as well, and work together.
Okay, so that video basically explains most things. Most things. It makes a little bit of more sense now, right? But it says it's exposed by an insider. Well, that's total nonsense. This is them showing you what they want you to see. They want you to understand that it's Agenda 21 because most people still won't do a thing about it. We've been telling you about Agenda 21 for years and years and years and years. And this is exactly how they're rolling it out or rolling it in. And it's working perfectly. Talking to your community, talking to your neighbors, telling people, getting people aware that there is a fight. The fight started as soon as we found out that COVID-19 was going to be the hoax that they used to do what they're doing right now. And you know who showed up to that fight? Not very many people. So the last thing that video talks about is we all answer to ourselves. Now, that's not exactly accurate whatsoever at all. In my opinion, and probably in most of your opinions, we answer to God, God Almighty, the creator of us, who gave us dominion over this earth. And we've somehow allowed rich, scumbag, demonic, Satan-worshipping, wealthy people to steal that dominion from us. So you're going to have to make a decision. This agenda is going to keep moving forward. They've already got all the pieces in place. There is no stopping it. It's just a matter if you're going to acquiesce and stick with this agenda and stay with it, or stand up and die as a free human being. In my opinion, for years and years and years, people pointed out this website, deagle.com, and it showed the United States in the forecast for 2025. Does it make sense now? Does all of this make sense now that allegedly in about 4 years there's going to be 100 million less people? What do you think these vaccines are going to do? 100 million people, out of that fraction, there's going to be people like myself that understand that getting a biometric contact tracing chip installed into your arm is not the way to go. So those people will be gone. And then there'll be the other undesirables, the deaf, people of the wrong skin color, whatever they come up with. And I'll tell you what, apparently white folks are the people with the wrong skin color, according to the CDC. But on that, I'll digress. I'm going to play you a portion of this video that I put up, and it was taken down. So I'm going to put it up again and see if it makes any sense now. The information in it is incredibly germane. It's very, very relevant. So listen to it. Don't think that's martial law? Good for you. Enjoy it. I won't be here for that, okay? I just won't be here for that. I will not live in a place where I have to get a forced vaccine for a stupid mild flu. COVID-19 isn't a bioweapon. It's not 5G. It's a cold they're using to simply do what they want. And it's working perfectly. If people stopped arguing about everything and finally woke up, maybe they would have to instill martial law, and they still might. But let me tell you a secret. You see these articles? You see these laws? They've been planning this forever. This is nothing new. You think it's a coincidence that suddenly the guy that's behind this entire thing is telling everyone we need a new world government, a one world order, exactly like myself and other YouTube channels have been telling you for years, and now that they're saying the exact same words, people are still not believing it? It's perfect for them. It's absolutely perfect. You think the fact that Henry Kissinger has popped up again and Bill Gates and they're calling for mass vaccination and global governance? I mean, you still don't see what this is? You still can't see what this is? I already showed you all of these, and finally other channels are starting to show it, but we're weeks into this. People just didn't want to, I don't want to ruin my credibility. I don't want to be called a conspiracy theorist. 12 medical experts from around the world, experts in their fields, are explaining how the coronavirus is a mild flu. If anybody should be worried about anything, it should be H1N1. I told you that weeks and weeks ago. Well, now there's 10 more, and I told you that last week, but I finally found the link, so here it is. This isn't real. None of this is real. It's completely nonsense. If you get COVID and start to show symptoms, it means your body is already healing. Do you see what I'm saying? You don't start getting a runny nose or puffy eyes or a cough or anything. Once that shows up, you've had the virus in your body already, and your body is already healing. Do you know why I know that? Because I've been reading this stuff non-stop. Okay? It's amazing. Well, where's the martial law? They don't have to actually do it. They still probably will without a doubt, but they don't have to do it because everyone's doing as told. Everyone's being good little sheep. Even the truth community it's 5G. Dude, claiming all these deaths, which you can do a crumb of research and discover doctors are being told to label anything coronavirus, and most of them are going for it, but some of them aren't. Some of them are getting their stories out, and it's on YouTube. It's all over the place. You know what I'm saying? But this is the quid pro quo. Bill Gates has already said numerous times, nothing will go back to normal until everyone has a digital vaccine. I showed you this weeks ago, and people are like, Richie, why don't you show a little humility? I've never said I was anything except an asshole with a laptop. You see that? I intentionally never got that fixed, so I would never think that I was anything other than an asshole with a laptop. I've painted an enormous target on myself because nobody else was talking about this. Myself, ODD, Nicholson 1968. A few channels actually told you this was coming. A few channels actually showed you exactly what the setup was. And now it's painfully obvious. It's painfully obvious exactly what these guys are planning on doing. I don't know what else to possibly say. Here's the law I told you about, and Corbett report exposed brilliantly. This is from 2009. This is the medical martial law, where your forced vaccinations, that's got nothing to do with you. The state can deal with that. Private property, you don't have private property anymore. And on the 6th of April, at this point where we're at right now, I think you people would understand. The world is not the same, and they're holding it hostage under a mild flu. COVID isn't some breakaway disease that's killing everybody, because they wouldn't be juking the stats. People wouldn't be driving all around the country and all around the world showing empty hospital rooms. 41 states adopted this law that was passed in Massachusetts, which literally allows forced vaccinations, no private property, etc., etc., etc. 41 states adopted it. And this is strange because 9 states, this is from yesterday, 9 states aren't forcing people to stay home. Do you see what I mean? And the 41 states are all the hot spots. The 9 states that didn't sign up for this particular bill 2028, which is medical martial law. The 9 states that didn't sign up for it are the same 9 states that aren't showing ridiculous numbers, etc. You think that's a complete coincidence? Because I don't. Henry Kissinger is back again. They're calling for the liberal world order. They're not calling it the new world order, and I guess that's enough to fool people. That's all conspiracy theory. Bill Gates steps down on Friday the 13th to oversee his company ID 2020. ID 2020 is a biometric vaccine. It isn't an RFID chip, which you could actually cut out with a scalpel. The biometric ID 2020 will be injected into your bloodstream, and once it's in, you'll never get it out. When you see him pop up again, you know that it's on. I will leave links for everything below in the description, not on my personal website or anything like that. And for all those people that are falling for the smoke and mirrors that ID 2020 isn't going to be the vaccine that everyone gets, you're out of your mind. Bill Gates, ID 2020, vaccines and surveillance got way too much exposure. So now they're putting up the smoke screen that Johnson & Johnson's working on a vaccine. This guy's working on a vaccine. Joe Biden's working on a vaccine. Bill Gates is never, ever going to let anybody inject anything other than the biometric ID 2020 that will go into your body and change your DNA forever. Period. But let me show you something one of my subscribers just sent me. I find this very interesting. This is from May 22nd, 2020. So that's from yesterday. It says, watch under a microscope. Your cells create a corona cell. Have we been conned into killing our own immune system? Have you heard that someplace before? Does that sound familiar? Does that sound like something Dr. Kaufman told us back in February? It does, because he did. Do you see what I'm saying? This entire thing is a complete and total hoax. I told you not to get the test because if they test you for the coronavirus and you've ever gotten a flu shot, you will be positive for the coronavirus, period. And now they want to try to get the, well, women aren't getting the coronavirus as much as men, so we're going to start injecting estrogen into men. More of the same. And for people that don't understand that this is Agenda 2021 coming to fruition because countries couldn't get along, let me show you something. Do you know what the Antarctic Treaty is? The 12 countries that are allegedly always at war with each other have all been signed into since 1959. Political theater is political theater. Watch House of Cards on Netflix. They literally show you exactly what it is. Times get too tough, terrorist attack. Somebody's going to get indicted, somebody gets killed, somebody commits suicide, or we just go to war. Understand that Agenda 21 is what this entire thing is. Why do you think they completely and totally stopped the economy? You think everything's going to bounce back? It's never going to bounce back because it's never going to come back. Do you see what I'm saying? They are going to take away your ability to make your own money. They're going to take away your ability to make your own decisions, and they're going to take away your ability to feed your own family. At some point, you need to look into the back pages of the Bible and start understanding that we're living in this time right now. This entire thing was an enormous smokescreen. And as far as the video that I already used where an insider exposed Agenda 21, well, the insider's a little late because most of us have been exposing Agenda 21 and Agenda 2030 for years. Like this, for example. We've been exposing Sanjay Gupta, Bill Gates, Agenda 21, his depopulation for years. For years. This video goes back to 2016. So the fact that an insider is spilling the beans, that doesn't do anything for me. But where we're at, and people need to understand this. They're going to make this the new normal no matter what. because they've already shown us they control everything. They literally shut down the entire world. There is no way in the world you could do that without cooperation from 179 countries. And they have it. They've spent, I'm going to guess, from 1913, but specifically from when they blew Kennedy's head off in front of everybody, they've spent every waking hour blackmailing, bribing, murdering, suiciding, censoring, and shutting up everybody that's been trying to expose this for years. You need to understand that walking around like this jerk off right here, this is real. This is on a news channel. This is an invention, a mask so that you can eat food while still wearing a mask, which is just utterly ridiculous. But that's how stupid most people are. Normally, I would say that's how stupid they think most people are. But after watching what's gone on for the last several months, that's how stupid they know people are. This is ridiculous. It's not a joke. It's legit. I was very reluctant to even play it because I thought it was so ludicrous, but it's our new reality. And that's all there is to it. Be ready. They're going to use everything in the world against you. You need to find out where you're at spiritually. I will not take this biometric shot whatsoever at all. Operation Warp Speed, all these different smoke screens and distractions, I don't care. Bill Gates did not step down on Friday the 13th to oversee ID 2020 for ID 2020 not to be what's going to be forcibly injected in your arm by our own military. And after watching what's happened, it won't be a problem. They've did it. And that's all there is to it. Richie from Boston. Links will be in the description. I am out.